And welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Metroid Fusion. In the last episode, we started the game, we went to the quarantine bay and took care of the little disturbance thing there, as well as gone over to the far end of the main deck here, and defeated our first boss, which gave us the Morph Ball ability after we got the missiles from the data room. Today's episode, we are going to go head back to the navigation room to talk to the computer and see what we need to do next. Because it seems like, well, the X problem's gotten a little bit better, or worse, sorry, and say that. Samus, it's as I feared. The breeding environments have been invaded by X parasites. Sector 1, SRX, shows several abnormalities in biosensors. Sector 1 is a simulation of the SR388 ecosystem. To get there, take the main elevator to the access shaft and use elevator 1. Is your objective clear? Use the navigation room just inside for further briefing. I'm not sure, but I think that whoever allowed the X into the environment may also be linked to the earlier explosion and what he meant by that is that whoever caused the explosion in the quarantine bay more than likely caused them to get into the breeding environments, which if you looked at the map there, like if you saw the SR388, there's like a little mini map that shows you like there's 6 sectors floating around the station, basically inside the station, and each sector represents a certain type of environment on SR388. If you go in this door, you're going to be immediately running into a sub-zero containment, and you're going to immediately start taking damage, so don't go in there. It's not very worth it. Samus is so suitable to the cold. Now, we're going to come in here and use our Morph Ball ability to grab this missile tank here. So now we're at 25 missiles. So, yeah, Morph Ball is very important. I mean, we couldn't do very much without it. So, now we're above the quarantine bay, where the quarantine bay was, and we're going to use our Morph Ball to come over here to gain access to the main elevator. If we keep on coming down here, we'll get to the main elevator shaft here. And let's go on down to the environment segment. Thus, everybody's nightmare fuel just got reached. Oh gosh, I could go on a whole tangent about that. That scared the crap out of me when I first played this game when I was young. Man, that was so creepy. Yes, somebody who looks like Samus just caused a giant explosion, and you saw the lifeless eyes in that being's head there. Oh, that creature is very scary looking. Very ominous. Alright, we're here in Sector 1, so let's go ahead and talk to the computer again. The main elevator leading to the access shaft has been severely damaged. It will be totally unusable for some time, unfortunately. Some unknown agent at work. Yeah, some unknown agent. Something very powerful. Certainly not human. I'll report when I know more. Now listen closely. The X in Sector 1 have invaded the atmospheric stabilizers. They must want to alter the environment to their needs. They are already reproducing. Clear all 5 atmospheric stabilizers to stop them. Is your objective clear? Yes. Now get moving. Alright, so here in Sector 1 we're going to have a big job we need to do. We need to clear out the 5 atmospheric stabilizers, as the computer has said, and we need to use our missiles in order to clear them. Here in Sector 1, you can see there's zombies in this room. Like I said before, the zombies kind of infinitely respawn here until when an X comes and invades them. There's a blue hatch here we can't access yet. We won't be able to access that for a good while. Same up here. There's a green door up here. We cannot access that for a long time. So your only option is here. Now these guys, these are like little cells, and they get bigger with each X that comes into them. As soon as they start touching you, they will start sucking your life away. So be sure to start, try to clear them out before they become a problem. They're really not that big of a deal, but yeah, just be careful. There is an X barrier right here. Just go ahead and clear it out. Like, now we got on our first atmospheric stabilizer, which is over here, indicated by this giant room with the fog. This thing is actually what the X is invading here. And if you take a closer look up there, there's a GameCube among all that massive metal right there. Yeah, there is a GameCube right there. A funny little Easter egg right there. I guess we can well find out what happened to the excess stock of GameCubes that Nintendo had made, because the GameCube sold pretty badly. So we know what all happened to them. If you come up here and clear all these enemies, the X will kind of mimic other creatures here. This enemy will kind of drop down. You kind of have to shoot it inside its little soft tinder part here because, well, these shells are ineffective to your beam. Or you could just use a missile and just blow them up. If you come down here and shoot this little block right here, kind of like I did, and come up here, there's an energy tank here. So we got another energy tank added to our supply here. Now, here we're going to go, not fall down. I didn't want to do that. We're going to go in this room. This room, here's another atmospheric stabilizer room here. So we're already going ahead and taking care of everything. Taking care of business. Right here. Going to go ahead and clear all these things, clear the frogs. The X-Parasites that spawn from the atmospheric stabilizers, they'll go on the background and spawn more frog enemies. You're just going to go ahead and aim up here and destroy another one. 3 units malfunctioning. We only got 3 more left to destroy. And as you guys can probably tell, they're all over Sector 1. So we're going to be exploring majority of the map here. Here, if I look closely here, we want to go down here to this one first. And we come over here to the save room, because the save room's actually got a secret to it. This looks like a normal save room, but there's actually a cracked wall right there. If you shoot that and open up the door, then jump up, and immediately go into morph ball form, you can go into the little crack here, like so, and go into access to another room. That's actually secret in one of 2 cracked walls in save rooms you'll find out in this game. That is just one. There's 2 of them in the game. Now this will kind of introduce you to a mechanic that doesn't get very used much in this game, but in other Metroid games is a very viable thing. It's called wall jumping. If you go into a cartwheel jump, and then immediately hit the back button where you want to jump off of, Samus will jump off the wall, like this. And if you keep going like this, you can climb up the wall, essentially doing this. So you have to aim the opposite direction where you want to jump off the wall and push the jump button again. If I can do it right. It's really hard to maneuver to do. You can actually come back here later when you get another ability in order to get it, but you can actually get it now using this technique. Wall jumping has been completely nerfed in Metroid Fusion. In other Metroid games, you can use wall jumping to basically climb up walls without having to worry about too much. But in Metroid Fusion, when you jump off a wall, well, it propels you far enough away you can't just go back to it. It's been completely nerfed. Now we're gonna go back over here. Actually, let's go explore the other rooms here, since we're already here. We come up in this room, we'll notice that there's a barrier here. We can't go this way. The only way we can go is down that way. So that's all the rest in this room that we can explore for right now. So we're gonna go this way. And jump up this way, over here, and go this way. Now down here there's enemies that are rhinos. They are invulnerable to your beam in the front. You have to jump over them and shoot them in the back. Their back is the soft tinder weak point. So just be careful. They'll start as soon as they see you, they'll start charging at you. So just jump over them and shoot them in the back. Or you can use a missile. Missile will work too. Or you can run into it like a dummy like I did. Yeah, your missile will break through their armor. Usually if there's an enemy that has a armor thing that your beam can't affect, usually missile can affect them. Now here, there's some lava. Do not go in the lava. For the love of everything, do not go in the lava. It hurts. And our current suit. Our current suit cannot get that. So you're going to climb up the ladder that's up on the wall here, and then cross over. There's a missile expansion, but just be careful, do not go in the lava. We do not have a suit that is strong enough to withstand lava yet. These enemies are space pirates, Sebastian space pirates. I don't know what they're doing here in SR38's ecosystem. They're mostly Zebus enemies, but yeah, usually just taking a missile will destroy them. They are ineffective to the beam weapon. Beam cannot hurt them, so you have to use a missile. These guys also jump on the walls. They shoot the beams, and then they jump across the wall here, so just be careful. They hurt a little bit. They're not that bad, but they hurt. Space pirates are also pretty much Samus's #1 enemy in all of the Metroid universe. So, we're on our 3rd atmospheric stabilizer. Just going to cross over here. You can jump down into this area here if you get fallen down here, but there will be Parasites spawning frogs down here, so be careful. Alright, so you want to jump on this wall here, go across here, and shoot the giant Parasite inside that mask there with the GameCube. Just to think, when I originally recorded this game, it was on a GameCube. I played it on the Game Boy player. GameCube is actually my favorite console of all time. I love the GameCube so much. I make fun of it now at how much it's sold, because it was actually one of Nintendo's least selling consoles, but man, the GameCube was so freaking awesome. A lot of my favorite games are on it. Same with the Game Boy Advance, the system that this game was on. That's why I'm playing this game. I love this game for that. Alright, so we're on our next atmospheric stabilizer. And there's a bunch of frogs spawning down there. I think these enemies are called toads, or something like that. Toads with an H, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I don't know Metroid enemies too much, except for a couple of enemies, because Primes taught me what their names are. Like, I know Shriek Bats, I know Zingers, I know all them others. But most enemies, like in this game, I don't really know. There's a crab enemy that will shoot projectiles at you if you get close. But there's another missile expansion. So there we go, we got another one. I think if I remember correctly, there's another expansion in that room, but we do not have an ability to get it yet, so just be mindful that it's there. We'll be coming back to later to Sector 1 later in the game for most of these pickups. You'll notice that there's some pickups we just can't get yet, but we don't have the power to do so. But later in the game we will. Right, so we're going to go backtrack a little bit and go to the next room. I think so, pretty sure. No, I was wrong, sorry. Gosh, man. We don't need to backtrack. What we needed to do is we needed to go to the door that we didn't go through. My bad. Okay, grab it. And Pro Controller controls for a GBA game is really kind of hard to use sometimes. Especially like a game that's as action-oriented as this. Most of the Wii U Virtual Console is pretty good control-wise, but for Metroid games, I find it really hard. Like, it's really hard for me to play these games effectively that I want to play on, like, the Game Boy player or the Wii U Virtual Console. I'm so used to playing it on the actual hardware it was on. So, it's hard for me to do that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and clear out these guys. Speaking of another thing that's actually kind of natural playing style, I have this game on my 3DS. Yes, my 3DS was one of the Ambassador 3DS that was one of the first 3DS that was sold before the price drop that happened. And because I was an Ambassador, I got a bunch of Game Boy Advance games to put on my 3DS. Which I know a lot of people get a little bit upset about that, which, you know, is rightfully justified. But this was one of the games that was with it, and my gosh, playing it on the 3DS it feels so natural. I'm not lying. Playing it on an actual handheld really does help this game's control-wise in some aspects. So you might see me a little bit mess up here and there, but that's just because I'm so used to handheld control for this game. But as soon as we go through here, you'll notice that there is another door that has an eyeball. But if you come down here and destroy the hodes, or whatever they're called, yeah, there's a save room here if you need to save. I will be saving just in case, but thankfully, because I am playing on the Wii Virtual Console, I can make save states so I can avoid my whole issue that I was having earlier. Like, well, if my recording messes up, well, that's the end of that. No, actually, I have save states I can create, so. Alright, so as soon as you come down here, you just shoot an eye when his eyes open. Just shoot another one. Are we gonna go 3 for 3? Yes, we're gonna go 3 for 3. That's good. He didn't shoot a beam at me. But we're going in here, and there's a boss room in here. There's a Chozo statue right there. If you shoot the thing he's holding, it's actually an ex-parasite. Yes, this is our first instance of an eye X-core. This is, every now and then, there are bosses where it's just a giant core X with a giant eye. When it gets has the eyeball shooting, it's gonna shoot a beam at you. But when the eye is about ready to form, you just pop a missile in there and it'll damage it. It only takes like a couple missiles and it'll destroy it. That boss was easy, but there we go. We got our next ability, the charge beam. If we press and hold B, we can charge. We can charge our beam, which does obviously a lot more damage when we charge it. But it also allows us to do a super cool technique called the pseudo screw attack. If you hold the charge beam and then you do a cartwheel, you'll notice that Samus is still glowing when she does her charge beam. If you run into an enemy, it'll damage it. So, yeah, it actually kind of acts like a pseudo screw attack, in a way. I'll kind of test this out here in a second when we get to our next enemy. But before you go forward in this room, you kind of want to shoot a missile over here. There is a secret missile pack up here. The charge beam gives you a bigger beam than what your old beam used to be, so it's already powered up. There we go, we got another missile expansion. We got a lot of missiles already. So, like I said before, yeah, you don't want to use your missiles very early in the game because you only got a finite number of these, but later in the game you can just fire them as much as you want to. Now, if you go ahead and just use your pseudo screw attack, see, I killed the frog as soon as I landed. Sometimes it was kind of a tight enclosure, but it allows us to do a lot of other cool things. Now, granted, what they want you to do is they want you to go and morph ball, go around, shoot up a hole over there, and pretty much shoot it from that way. But you can also do this. If you damage boost into it, like that, you can destroy it that way, using the pseudo screw attack. It's kind of a cheese, but it also helps out a lot whenever you're trying to do a speed run of this game, because there are special endings at the end of the game if you complete the game fast enough. But yeah, you come over here and you shoot it, and then you shoot missiles that way. You can use fully powered up charge beam shots to destroy the X barriers now, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's a good way to kind of sequence break the situation. You're saving yourself a couple seconds, but it's not that big of a deal. You're just using your damage boosting to basically use the pseudo screw attack to destroy that thing. But now we're going to be backtracking just a bit, now that we've cleared out all the atmospheric stabilizers. So we're going to go get ahead and just do that. I'm being very reckless, by the way. Trying to use it to show off the pseudo screw attack here. Alright. So we come back here, we're almost back to what we were doing beforehand. And there's a big cell. It's that one place in Metal Gear Solid 2. the main place that you play in. Alright, so we're pretty much done here. We can go back and we're gonna report back to the computer and see what he has to say. And then we're probably gonna call it in the next episode. So, let's go ahead and talk to him. Atmospheric stabilizers online, but many X have already made it to other sectors, it seems. In particular, Sector 2 Tro, the tropical habitat, shows abnormalities. I suspect the X entered this sector with the help of our unseen Saboteur. He, or it, may be in Tro now. Samus, get over there. We need to put an end to this. See your objective clear. Start moving. I'll brief you in the Trove navigation room. Alright, so we got our next objective. So we gotta go to Sector 2. But before we go on that, I think I'm gonna call it here. So, we did a lot in this episode. We cleared out Sector 1, we got the charge beam, and we kind of learned a new sequence breaking using cool new techniques, using the wall jump, and using a pseudo screw attack. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Let's Play Metroid Fusion. See you guys later.